Hello, everybody. Excuse me, I'm using my tablet. I'm using my tablet right now, y'all, so hope y'all can hear me. My volume should be up, and I'm going to be speaking about. So you all that can hear me. I know I look much bigger. I'm much bigger now. I am using my tablet, new tablet, of course. Thank you, Jesus. So I'm going to be speaking about the explosive HIV the explosive HIV rate in the city of Jackson, Mississippi. Of course, we have some stuff going on here in Shreveport. I'm going to cover that as well. I'm going to do it in two different segments, but quickly, but not too quick, y'all. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But anyways, so we have a situation here. We have a situation here in the city of Shreveport. We have a situation here in the city of Shreveport where, or not, I mean not Shreveport, but or in the city of Jackson, Mississippi, where the HIV rate is as an explosive rate. Now we hear now from what we heard from what we've seen via posts via Facebook, it is now at 500 cases, maybe more. But let me also state this: Shreveport, Louisiana, was the prime mecca, or have been for years, for HIV, STDs here in the city of Shreveport, Louisiana, as far as Cattle Parish. I am using my new tablet, so I look like I'm 10 times bigger on the screen. I normally use my phone, but I'm very grateful for the tablet where I can do more work, including starting my online schooling pretty soon, which is going to be great, of course. So, anyways, y'all, continue to keep me in your prayers, praying for a successful move, hopefully pretty soon. But in the meantime, I'm going to continue to speak out on certain things, but I do it at my own pace, y'all. I do it at my own pace. And again, we got to do work. We got to do stuff in our own pace. You know, we can't allow certain things to rush us or whatever. So yeah, that's better, isn't it? That's much better. It looks like I'm looking away from y'all because, like I said, it's this tablet, and I normally use my phone. So, excuse the background. So again, I want to speak about these laws here in Shreveport. We are not a common law state. They've repeatedly lied about that. I told them, I asked them, I said, what laws do y'all actually operate under? And they said they operate under the civil code. I said, what is civil code laws? They say, no, that's the old French laws. I said, old French laws. I said, that's why this state has not progressed anywhere. That's why Louisiana continues to remain behind from the rest of these states. And that's why the corruption is so bad. In a common law state, under common law reverses everything. People are like, what are you talking about? I said, no, Louisiana is not a common law state. They operate under their old traditional laws here. And so, and again, that's in violation. That's in violations of our rights. We're supposed to be a common law state like every other state, y'all, in the union. Louisiana does not operate that way. And so with that, for us operating under these civil code procedure laws, that they need to amend, they need to repeal that. And so I've also made a couple calls to Louisiana state legislation and done that too, guys. So we are not a common law state. Again, a lot of you all don't know what that means. Please research it. I did not know that for years, even being from this state, that they were still operating under these old French Napoleonic code, Napoleonic law, that is unacceptable. And that's why our rights continue to be violated, and not only in Shreveport but across the state of Louisiana. I'm asking and making an urgent plea that they repeal this particular laws, repeal it, and be done away with it. Louisiana, like a lot of people call this state, they call Louisiana a slave state, in which in fact it is. If you look back in history, for its Black history, this was one of the first slave states. And again, they're still doing slave. It's called servitude. I forgot, but it's a crime. Slavery's been over with, but yet certain laws that they operate under certain laws here, like at the prisons, Angola, the different prisons and things of that nature. We still are operating under these old laws, which is not giving us our full rights. We have rights, but not to the extent of, you know what I'm saying, like California, New York, all these other states, Georgia. So we're still under these old civil code laws, almost like in ancient history. And you are correct. You guys are correct. We're dealing with slave laws that should have been abolished years ago here in the state of Louisiana. And again, this is unacceptable, guys. I am using my tablet, so I look really big. I look huge. So this is what it is, y'all. And so I am using my tablet. And again, I know the screen got me looking like a giant, but I'm just I'm just 6'2", y'all. By the way. So again, I speak very briefly on certain topics, but like I said, I want to do an enforce what's going on. Also, what's happening in California with the ISIS protest. These immigrants, or these I don't even want to call them immigrants. They're people, and they're protesting because of their rights being violated. How in the world you gonna deport families? And some of them were, and now for what we just heard, and for what I just seen an update, some of these families were in the process of getting their documentation. So how in the world y'all gonna port all these families back to Mexico, wherever they come from, and they were trying to get their documentation. They were trying to get their documents. So this is what I'm not understanding. And then also they're not even being allowed to go before the judges, y'all. How is it that y'all deporting illegal immigrants, and some of them were actually trying to get their documentation, get their paperwork in order, and so forth and so forth. I'm gonna be doing better with my YouTube channel thank you all for the comments. I'm getting so many comments as far as just the videos I'm doing. I didn't think my videos weren't doing that good, but they're doing great. So I think that speaks volumes. Y'all excuse me if I don't do videos every day. I sometimes get burnt out with some of the same topics, same subjects. And again, we all work at our own pace. Don't ever forget that, okay? And so, and again, the civil code laws should have been gone years ago, but without the people fighting against it, that's why these laws were able to continue to stay in place here in the state of Louisiana. I have been against this law for the past 3 or 4 years since I researched it. What is civil code laws? They couldn't even tell me. I said, what is civil code laws? Oh, that's the laws they operate under this state. I say, what? You go to California, I promise you, as sure as I'm sitting here telling you this on this YouTube, you go to California, you go to Atlanta, these laws don't even exist. It's only here in the state of Louisiana that they continue to operate under these old French laws, guys. So how is it that you want the state to progress, but yet y'all are still operating under these old French laws, which is in direct violations of our rights, for as some even dealing with certain property rights, marriages, for as when they have a divorce, the wife gets everything. So it's not equal here. It's never been equal. I'm talking about for not just Shreveport, I'm talking about the entire state of Louisiana as far as the equality, as far as just these laws. So we have to continue to fight against this. I do videos throughout the day. I don't always do it at night. So I want y'all to kind of give a heads up. I encourage everybody to speak out within your communities. If you're burnt out, you're burnt out. Don't. You're okay. You're gonna be fine. You ain't got to burn yourself out, y'all, with videos. But I'm pushing my videos because I want my page to grow. I want my YouTube channel to grow. But not to the point where I'm burnt out. I'm not gonna do it. And everybody has that right and the respect. So but I'm like this. I love speaking on topics. I'll speak about any subject, what's going on across the world, across America, without Jackson, Mississippi, wherever it could be. And so I feel that as long as we continue to operate under these old French laws and the civil code laws, I feel this is where we continue to remain behind. We will continue to remain behind as long as we continue to operate under these old civil code laws and the civil code procedure laws. And so, y'all, that's what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to keep the viewers stay looking at my channel. And so I know it's in the middle of lunchtime. A lot of you all are at work, so I do understand that. So I'm gonna do another live later this evening when people are off work, where I can get more viewers. A lot of y'all, I know a lot of y'all can't watch YouTube while on your job because you gonna get fired. You know, I mean, I thank you for your support, but I don't want y'all to get fired from your job, nah. So I'm gonna do another live later this evening about 7. So about 6 or 7, y'all stay tuned. It's gonna be dope. So I'm on my tablet. I look very big. My screen is huge, so forgive me for that. And so yeah, y'all. So I'm gonna do a food review. Y'all want to see a food review? Let's do it. Yeah, let's do it. So I'm trying to look into the camera, but when I'm looking forward, I look horizontal. So, anyways, y'all have a good day. Y'all have a great rest of the day. I'm gonna get back on here later this evening. We have bad weather moving through Shreveport. I don't like to be on this during storms like this. Or whatever. So, I love you guys. Take care. Stay safe. Bad weather is coming through our area, and remember to keep God first, and remember to take one day at a time. If things will work out. So, things will work out, and so yeah, y'all take one day at a time, and remember to always be yourself and be you. You know, always be you. So, love you guys.